All right, everybody, and we are back again. Romeo, it's nice to be back on Spotify because when I tell you, when Spotify went to Spotify creators, it was a thing, and searching and everything, and lucky that me, I'm a reverse engineer and found everything in that. But Romeo, I'm glad to be back.
It very much is because we've been on a journey, and that's a whole nother episode. You'll learn about that later. But we are glad to be back on Spotify and all podcasting platforms so you can enjoy this show anytime, anywhere.
Yes, and with the same goes with us. The revolution will be accessible, but also the other slogan with two perspectives, one show. And with that being said, we have a new host, which still fall in with the two perspectives and one bylaw being that is still talk about disability. It's my sister, my best friend of all, Andrea, and we're gonna ask her some questions because she is
See
the
how she just
new.
instantly replaced me, y'all? You see
Oh,
that?
I didn't answer the question. We're gonna ask her some questions, and y'all
But
will
we're going to
see.
interview her, and y'all going to learn who she is, and we're going to have fun today.
Excuse me, you didn't let me finish. See, that's why black Negroes, and now I got to deal with two black Negroes, not one of them, two both. And y'all see why I said they call them black Negroes. I'm brown, they black.
And
Oh
you,
no, no, I'm black, they brown.
and you see why? You see why sometimes when we go away, this is why. Because I had to set my mental up to deal with that all the time.
Well, you ain't the only one that got to deal with that. So, hello, Andrea, how you doing? Y'all gonna look on our thing and see it all on in our new avatars and everything else. Y'all gonna like it. Done by QK Bay, aka Black Widow Puppetry. Y'all, baby, stop.
Um, Good afternoon,
Andrea,
guys.
how
Yes,
are you doing?
I'm fine. Good afternoon, guys.
Good
So,
afternoon to you.
yes, so tell us a little about, tell the audience a little about yourself that they don't know you, but they're about to know you, and they're gonna get to love you as they love Romeo, as they love me, but they're gonna really love you because now we have a female perspective, which we was already want to build and further out this, and it made sense that and also it's always a democratic thing with bringing Romeo when we vote on the list of people like to say, oh, we want to let them co-host. It was already a thing like, okay, let's go do this, and also let's shoot my sister and everything. But we're gonna let her tell you about her and her story.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I have to say thank you to my brothers, Quincy and Romeo, because they've added me as a host as well, and I'm having a blast, even though I'm still learning the ropes. But again, I'm having a blast. Um, My name is Andrea. I'm a writer. I'm a distinguished Toastmaster, um, poetess. Um, I have my hands in some of everything, but my favorite thing to do is to use my voice in ink. And with that being said, that can mean a number of things. Because I'm very verbal when it comes to speaking, but I tend to speak louder when I write because I don't have to argue with the paper or the pen, and what comes out is what comes out, and I don't apologize for anything I say because these are my words, my thoughts, my feelings, and I don't owe anyone but myself. So, let's see. I was born with a cerebral palsy. So with that being said, um that means that with my version, for lack of a better word, of cerebral palsy, I can't walk. So I'm basically wheelchair bound, and um I mean that doesn't stop me from living my life, because I live my life, and I make no apologies to anyone for how I live my life. I am very outspoken, very outgoing. I'm just an all around nice person until you rub me the wrong way, and that's not something anybody wants to do. Trust me, believe me when I say that. Because when I'm passionate about something, I give it my all. So when I had the opportunity to become a part of the Real Life show, um, you know, I was pleasantly surprised that I wouldn't want to work with anyone else but these two, because we're not only friends, but they're my brothers, and so we talk basically about anything and everything as Black and brown individuals with disabilities, and I don't think that either one of us has to apologize for anything that we say, because this is our story and this is how we choose to tell it. So we do that, and some people may some people may identify and some people may not. But one thing you're going to get out of this show is honesty, you know, unapologetic honesty. You know, we are who we are, and we choose to share it with the public, and hopefully you get something out of it. But one thing about it is that we're gonna be honest. Um, we don't mind questions. We don't mind any of that, because I I feel that you that you should be able to ask what you want to know. But also, with that being said, be respectful of your question. And what I mean by that is this: if you're gonna ask us a question, think about how you would feel if we or someone else asked you the same question. You know, we always try to be respectful. We try to be mindful of everyone's feelings, but sometimes we get up here and we just let it rip, and I think that's the beauty of our friendship and of us as a collective, because we can do that and just be ourselves. Um, I think that's enough about me. Unless one of you guys has a question, I'll be happy to answer.
Well, I heard speak about us being mindful, very demure. First of all, y'all should know me and Romeo. Whatever comes out of our mouth, we spit it out. It doesn't matter. We put it out there, and we said it. It was on recording about that. And one thing that I like that's what she said, that we are a podcast, that we are very honest. And being very honest is, I acquired my disability while now we still have, and we also do this on Clubhouse, and we're gonna tell y'all the link is in the bio. We do this once a month on Clubhouse on We Need Talk Station, where we do the thing we do from this Evo Scoops. We're gonna put that in the description as well on the YouTube and on Spotify, where we do different things. And I told Romeo, because I was like, I had somebody else to be a host for us, and you will like her. And he's like, cool. I was like, Andrea, and There's been a couple of times that I've been out because my pain. When my pain hits, it hits, and I'll be out for the count. And you know, I was like, the balance is on out. And also, this was a spiritual thing too. That God was like, the balance is on out, and you need to bring, your sister to the forefront. Is have your sister on here, and then have a female perspective because we don't have the female perspective on this show, and yet you still get the two different perceptions of disability because yet our acquired minds that were born with theirs, the soul is still the same. We're still gonna talk shit like we talk shit now. As she said, we are brothers and sisters, but also her story matters just as well as our story matters. And it was a hell yeah, let's go do this with the show. But also, where her and Romeo got the best is they some authors. I ain't the author yet, and the word is yet. Book coming out real soon.
And
Don't
why
know
is that?
when. Don't know when, but
Tell
book
them
coming
why
out
that
real
is.
soon. But Romeo, what you got to say?
I said, why is that? Tell them why that is.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you what it is because he keeps putting it off. I mean,
Hold
Quincy
up.
has his wait a minute. Quincy has his hand in everything. And whenever he feels like he can help, he's going to help. So sometimes he has a tendency to overextend himself, and
Yep.
Yes.
You're 100% right. He's such an assistant. He's like, I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna help you. But
Hold up. I do
sometimes
stuff for
you
myself
gotta help
too.
yourself.
I do stuff for myself too. I haven't went on the book. Okay, so let's talk about this. So I have now went on the book thing because I guess I am a writer, and yes, I have so a lot of my writings and under two of my pseudo names underneath that, and also my pseudo name in a because I'm in the writers go now, and I go in the pseudo name when I go to present. And with and being the first storyteller, um and yes it might be an assistant job, but yes my credit if I get put on if I right now. Okay, so I'll tell y'all right now I am being asked, and still the contract is still being updated, still didn't talk about that they do want me on a network show, and they want me on a one is going to be a one is going to be on a network where it does with all ages of cartoons, and they want me to be on it because I speak to that right there. But the contract is still being out and on because like my who's I'm underneath um Mr. George, who I'm underneath. He says, I only put you in the group, Quincy, for you to leave me. I want you to leave me anytime. I know that you'll come back to me and help me, but I want you to leave me because it's time for you to shine. And he the one that got me the spot on this one right here. Now, Mr. Craig, on the other hand, that's in the BBC, he been wanting me to leave him. Like the second I got offered something, and this it was a dry comedy thing, it was that. And people ask me like, well, where do you get your writing bug and all that stuff? I said I got friends that are authors, but also I was like, it's my rooted of being Romeo's the author, Andrea's the author. I was like, them two rooting me down because I got asked for all kind of questions. And also Andrea being a poet, I said that's the whole lane, that poetry that I was getting into on that. But past that part, um, book coming out soon, TBA, like everything TBA. But Andrea, this is about you, and also I like, you see how eloquent she is. See, we have a different eloquent because I'm not so I'm so VH1's was eloquent, and then you have Romeo, as you know, I say NPR eloquent, and now you have the voice of both the NPR and the Zeus Network and VH1 eloquence. Andrea on the show.
Well, the FYI, just a little about my poetry. When I write, I talk about me and the things I go through as a black or brown woman with a disability. I don't shy away from anything. I talk about my relationships, you know, the things that I've been through I mean, again, I don't shy away from anything because I feel like if I can help someone, why not? Even if it's just one person. And even if I don't, it's me setting myself free. Writing is very therapeutic for me. It keeps me sane. It keeps me stable. When I feel like everything else in the world is going wrong, I can always pick up my pen and paper. And again, I don't have to argue with it because these are my words, my thoughts, my feelings. And so I'm very open. I'm very honest about it. Um, my my current book, I am still working on. It was supposed to be out in October for my birthday, but then I had an injury which I'm still recovering from. It's been a hell of a long process, but I am getting back into the swing of things with writing. So hopefully my book will be finished soon. And I'm also gonna have a journal come out with that as well. But enough about that. Um, in the next few months, when the book is ready to be released, then I'll release all the details.
You're speaking to my whole soul because the paper does not lie and it will never judge you. But I do have a
It,
question. Since we're talking about
it,
writing and you're a poet, do you have a favorite poetic structure? And yes, I know this is a technical poetry fruit question, but I don't care. This is my show, so I'm going to ask the question that I want in my interview. Do you have a favorite poetic structure like haiku or Elizabethan, or are you just a free verse girl?
no, I just do what comes natural. I do what I feel like doing. Um I don't set out to do the structural thing, but if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I mean, I'm just myself, you know.
Is there one poem that you have written that you feel would have that maybe is a free verse or a structured poem, a technical way, a sonnet, whatever it is, that you feel would be better if it was just free verse or if it was done in a technical manner? I'm just
Um,
curious as a writer myself.
I mean, I don't know. I have several poems. I don't know. I mean, I like I said, I just write, and however it looks on paper, it looks. I don't really set out to do a structure.
Fair enough. I just look. I'm just picking your brain here. I'm trying to learn for myself as well because I have books on the way, many in fact. So I'm just
What
trying to
about what
see
about
what's
you?
going
Do
on.
you have what about you? Do you have a structure?
Um, One structure I do use a lot, and I didn't realize I was doing it until I started actually reading my own stuff. I use Elizabethan a lot, particularly like if it's about a person.
Mhm.
I use Elizabethan a lot. And for those of you that don't know what that is when you write the person's name or a word, right? Each line starts with the first letter of the word until the word is spelled out.
Yeah.
Okay. And sometimes I put Elizabethans as their own, meaning I write the word and I stop. And sometimes I put Elizabethan as part of something else. Um, if you read One of my books, I don't even remember which volume of Emotions it is, has the poem Incarceration. That is an example of an Elizabethan poem. Um, my next book, Phases of Love, will also have Elizabethan poems in it. But
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil that because that will be killing a surprise for someone. So we're not going to spoil that one. Anyway, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay, well, I just thought I would pose the same question back to you. So thanks for the answer. Uh, like I said, I'm very comfortable. I'm more comfortable with writing and speaking in public than anything else that I do. Because I get to share me. And it's funny that I say that, and I'll tell you why. Um, Particularly when I joined Toastmasters. I knew I could write, but something about speaking in public scared the hell out of me because I felt like because I was disabled, um, and because it's one of those things where you can physically see it. I thought that people were paying attention to my disability more than they were. Um, when it came to listening what I had to say. And so I'm like, one day it just hit me. I can write, but I can't speak in public. I mean, it scared me. So I went to a Toastmasters meeting one night. And when you in the traditional old version of Toastmasters, we used to have books, right? Um, and in those books was 10 types of speeches that you would have to give. And I honestly admit my first 8 speeches sounded like who did it and why with no explanation. Point blank, they sounded like shit, or at least they did to me. Because what happened to me was that I would say 1 or 2 words and then I would look up and I felt like people were staring at me. So I would roll out of the room and just start crying. And this particular night, I was giving my last speech, and it was we were practicing for the international speech contest, and so I had this thing about not wanting to compete against my cousin because we were in the same um in the same club, and so I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna compete against you. If you want to go, go. And he was like, no, if you want to go, go. So for about 15 minutes, we went round and round about who was gonna go up for the competition and who wasn't. But then I was like, okay, since you've already went, I'll go. And so I gave the speech and I rolled out the room, and then they were like, come back in. We get ready to announce who won a contest to go to international. And I have to say, when they told me I won, I swear to God, I ran into the wall, y'all, because I I started crying and couldn't stop, right? So I'm rolling my chair, but I'm looking at the floor, and I'm not even paying attention to what's in front of me. And that's how I hit the wall. And all I could say was, thank you, God. Somebody finally heard me. And so everybody was like, what? Why are you saying people finally heard you? We've been hearing you, but that was the best speech you ever gave, and that's why we think you should go. And so I won, and I got a chance to compete in the international. Um, I placed second in the international. Had I not started crying in the middle of my speech, I would have won. But because I started crying in the middle of my speech and couldn't stop, um, they 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 placed me second. And every year after that, for about 5 years, I competed. And I'm saying that to say I have to give it to myself. I am a hell of a public speaker, because every time I've competed, except twice, I've either placed second or third. So you can't tell me I don't know what I'm doing. With that being said, I am about to start start back in Toastmasters after the first of the year. That is one of my personal goals for myself. I've even talked about starting my own club, but that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of discipline. So, and you have to have the mindset to do that. Because not only is it a lot of paperwork, but it's also having the willingness and the strength to deal with a bunch of different people, with all types of attitudes. And so I think I need to get a little bit stronger in that aspect before I try to take on 20 to 30 people, building my own club with different attitudes. Because I'm one of those sisters that will, if you give me attitude, that's just what you're going to get back. And what comes out of my mouth, I will not apologize for it to anyone, because I feel like if I have to go there with you, I'm going to go there with you. And because you worked my nerves, I'm going to make you cry, because you
Exactly.
got me there. That's just who Andrea or Diva Conversations is. And I call myself Diva Conversations because I am um, I am a determined, intelligent, valuable, amazing asset who knows how to have a conversation, whether I do it with my voice or whether I do it through pen and paper. So that's where Diva Conversations comes from. And if I sound like a diva, okay, yeah, you can call me a diva, you can call me jaded, but guess what? When you call me jaded, you better have a good reason for it, because I'm gonna let you have it, and you're not gonna like what I have to say.
Tell
Go
you,
ahead.
I'm laughing because don't remember I'm
Look
laughing
at that
because
seamless promotion. Love it. Okay.
hold on. You know why I'm laughing, Romeo? Because when we first did this podcast, I was like saying to Romeo, "Why are you so jaded about everything?" And da 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 da. And it's funny that you use the word jaded because now it's understanding now because
Because now you
it's
understand.
6
Mm-hmm.
now I understand. There's some stuff that and it's on record that we have both said. He has said to me, "I'll wait until you get into this a little more, and you see why that I have the attitude I have, and that even when Andrea said it."
Exactly.
I know why the jaded attitude comes with. I'm still now. Look, I'm on the side of yes to be jaded, but I'm still on the side. Let's be open about this as well. That's why the show also is about bridging that gap of, and also like she said, having a voice and having that conversation and that's why her and on as another host of the show. Add the extra layer on of having this conversation, having this voice, and also, and we can't wait to a further episode on relationships and all that because baby, we're gonna get into that. I can't wait
I
to get to that background.
I am a very dated black female. Baby, look, let me tell you. But that comes with a lot of. I've had to go through a lot. I've had to deal with a lot of shit I didn't want to. Okay, I've let's see. I've been married 3 times, divorced 3 times. But that's a whole nother show in itself. Because I'm the type of
Relationship is
woman
sex, baby. Relationship is sex. It's coming soon. Coming soon. Not right now, but that's gonna come soon.
and that's because I am a woman that will not put up with anything because I feel like you know who I am. You know what I mean? You see me inside and out before you even decide to ask a question, will you marry me? Don't wait until you marry me and then be like, I didn't expect this. Yeah, you knew exactly what you were getting into. Don't play that shit with me. Don't come up with a bunch of excuses. If you can't be man enough to handle it, don't even look my way, much less don't say hello. Because if you say hello and I don't feel like speaking, guess what? I'm gonna look at your ass like you ain't like you haven't said anything, and be like, "What the hell you want?" You be like, "Ma'am, I'm just speaking." Well, guess what? I don't feel like speaking back. So, I mean, I'm just that kind of jaded female. And I'm not saying that I'm all in the bag of chips, but of course, myself, I am. Uh, but, um, I mean, you just have to be in that space in that moment to understand why we say that we have the right to be jaded. You have to experience at least some of the shit that we've been through in order to even say that you're jaded. You understand? There is a reason for that. We don't just assume that title just to assume that title. I mean, it's a lot of pain, it's a lot of hurt, it's a lot of dealing with people that you just absolutely don't want to fucking deal with. Straight up, I mean, there are people that I absolutely love, but does that mean I want to deal with them every day? Absolutely the hell not. If I don't want to deal with you, I don't want to deal with you. If I don't want to speak, I don't want to speak. If I want to sit in my house all day long and look out my window and not come out or not answer my phone when you call me, I have the right to do that. Guess why? Because I am who I am and I pay every single bill I have on my own. All my bills are in my name. I don't owe anybody shit. You understand? I owe myself and I owe God. But anybody else, I don't know. You can kick rocks. And that's just my opinion of
No, that's a fact. That's the truth. Okay, I have to say first of all, before I get into I'm going to add on to what you said. Before I get into that segue was masterful. Okay, I have to give you credit for that. That was masterful. And
thank you.
Thank you very much.
that
I
that
want to
means
first of all,
that
before
means
we go to that
her.
segue, I would like to thank Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit for that. Thank you so very much.
No, that was her segue, not yours. Don't be up here stealing.
See,
I mean,
two black Negroes. I'm the one that started laughing about the deadness and all that. You will not do this to me. You will not do this to me. You
Anyway,
will not do.
anyway,
first of all, again, I give credit to God, Jesus, my waymaker, all of that. You understand what I'm saying? But even with that being said, yet and still, I wouldn't be able to do this without you guys because you guys opened up a door for me when y'all could have just said we're gonna stick to doing the show on our own, and I'm like, you know, I mean that would have been cool too because I wouldn't have known the difference. But when you guys approached me with doing it, I'm like, the first thing I said is, "Are you sure?" You're like, "We would be asking if we were," and I'm like, "Okay." So I mean, again, I'll say thank you because not only has it allowed us to get to know each other, but it's also allowed us to form a friendship, a bond, and a family ship that's not gonna go anywhere. I mean, we have our days when we just want to be by ourselves, and then we have our days when somebody go pick up the phone or send a text and say, "You okay over there?" I mean, that's just who we are, and believe it or not, to our audience, we've never met, but we talk to each other all the time.
yeah,
We FaceTime each other all the time,
like
and
just cause.
yeah, I have to say, for me myself, I need to get better about doing that because I've been in my own world, in my own head for the last few months because I'm trying to get over this injury. More about that later, but it is very difficult and it's very painful. So if I've done anything or said anything to make either one of you feel some sort of way, I am I am publicly and humbly apologizing because that's never my intention. I just 90% of the time I just don't feel good, guys. So if I have an attitude or if I seem jaded, um, please forgive me because that's not the way that I want to come across to either one of you.
First of all, it's not. So this is. I'm happy that was another good segue too. Look now, that's another good segue too. Um, as Romeo pointed out, of the in the community, how we and I want to make sure that everybody out there that set the tone, that we set the tone as we are yet a village in here and yet a community. And like she was saying, I publicly apologize. And first of all, we family, so family gonna fuss and argue and all that. And also, I understand why y'all like the experience of being jaded, why y'all jaded. And I'm always gonna be the optimistic one, the one that with the nostalgia that says, we should overcome. But as I tell people, that's the king, that's the K side. And the K supposed to be more masculine. The Q side, on the other hand, that capitalist woman, that capitalist female side of me says, oh hell no. Let's be Jay. These motherfuckers don't talk a black language to me. Y'all want to tokenize me. Y'all want to do everything underneath the boat to use my color. Then on top of that, I speak of many communities because I don't say I'm only disabled. I am a queer male. Yeah, only a queer male, and I go along with all these things. Oh, we can use them for something. Oh, we can. My mom says, "Where the money at?" This Romeo, cut me a check. If you're gonna use me like that, cut me a check. But we here at the World Life Podcast, and y'all ain't seen with the two of us. Now we got three of us on this show, showing that we are yet a village that speak different tones, but we speak in one tone of we want everything to be accessible. Also, we are a family here. Whether everybody gonna have their bad days to pain. We all deal with chronic pain in this group here. We all deal with the struggle of being disabled, of not hearing our voices heard, and then how our voice is heard, and that we all stand up for each other. And you know, I'm so happy that you said yes. I'm so happy Romeo said yes in the beginning of when we did the World Life podcast and the people that we had to go through and to go through to say, well, we want like this. And we're like, why you want to do something that they're already doing already? Why don't you do it in our voice, in our way, and it's not like and won't you do all right? And that's why the 3 years that we've been doing it has progressed between it being me and Romeo, we had our guests, and now we have now you as a host on the show, me as a female, and now we have another insight, but still and people was gravitating toward like, oh my goodness, Quincy, wow, especially when we did the introduction on Clubhouse first when I was like, y'all gotta understand, y'all got two people, and me still being the one that I acquired my disability after I was helping folks of like Andrea and Romeo. I said, but yet, and I say they're my friends. They even you're gonna say shout out to Marlon Stovoff. I'm gonna shout him on out because he's the origin of the World Wide Podcast. Look, the script coming out soon. Now that right there, that script is gonna come out soon because me and Romeo are gonna write that one and how all this gonna come on out. Him even being that I was in Chicago and I took him everywhere with me when I was working, especially going to a club. Oh, I don't care. I made sure, and his family even thought that me and him should have been together. I made sure that he was, even though that he was disabled, he had spinal bifida. I mean, I say difia, but bifia. I mean, and I made sure that he was treated regularly. I made sure that stuff was accessible to him. And then if people were to talk about him, I was really ready to fight at all times. You know, I'm TCG at all times. I'm ready to go. And Romeo
Well,
will tell you about that. But I made sure that he was safe, he was okay, even when, you know, after we got work from the club and he was super drunk. I made sure that, you I know at the time that he wore a 10. I made sure that, if he did I could did everything regular. And now to this day, to myself, my goodness, people do that for you and that all that. I said, yeah, because I made sure that everybody's regular stuff. I said, even Romeo and Andrea, I said, they regular folks. I said, if I was disabled and we did this podcast, but I was the ally too, so the ally, and we still called it the Wheelife podcast. And so we Wheelife podcast because one of us on wheels, the other is wheeling by bus because I don't know how to drive, by bus, by car, by something, Uber is to that. But Romeo, talk about the segue um, to Jadenness and all the things.
I need to say something, Quincy.
I'll go ahead because it's all about you. But we just adding on adding to the point.
This is the thing. What I want people to understand most of all, if you don't understand the one thing I say, please hear me when I say this. Just because we have disabilities, our disabilities don't define us in any way. They're just a part of who we are. With that being said, that doesn't make us any less human than you are. And trust me, if you're an individual that is able bodied and can do all these things and everything for yourself, one or two things are going to happen to you. And I'm not saying this to be ugly, it's just reality. Um, and no one is invincible. Um, this is the thing. You're either gonna become old and need someone's assistance, or you're either gonna have an accident, or and if neither one of those things happen, you're gonna die before they happen. So what I'm saying to you is never look down on someone who is disabled. If there's something you want to know, just ask. We don't mind answering a question. Because what I hate the most is for you to stare at me or for you to think or assume that you know me because you don't know anything about me. Beyond looking at me. And when you assume, you don't make an ass out of me, you make an ass out of yourself. So if you want to know something about me and who I am, just ask. Go ahead, guys.
You're so right. That's why my favorite line when people do that, I just say, "Can I have my face back?" I mean, I know I'm pretty, but can I have my face back? Thank you.
Exactly. Give me my face back, cause you looking like your shit just fell through the floors, you know?
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Like, are you mute? What's the problem? Are you deaf? Do I need to give you a pen so you can write? What's going on?
That part, that part, that part. I mean, I've sat in restaurants and been on dates to where the waiter will come up and I order, and then they look at the gentleman that I'm with and say, "What did she just say she wanted?" I'm like, "Excuse the hell out of you. I know how I talk clear English. I know you heard what I said, so why are you looking at him asking him what I want?" As a matter of fact, I tell you what, get your ass away from me and send me your supervisor or send another waiter over here because I'm not dealing with you. And I've done that several times. That's why when people see me coming, they be like, "Oh shit, here come hell on wheels." Exactly. I'm gonna raise hell wherever I go if you don't treat me right. Because the one thing I do demand is respect, especially if I'm giving it to you And especially if I'm gonna spend my money in your establishment, you're gonna respect me because my money is green, just like everybody else's.
Say that louder for people in the back. I don't understand these businesses that don't get it. Man. Like you
Yeah,
should want us to spend our money. It's so,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's a
They
whole nother
get it.
podcast.
Yeah, they get it, but see, they don't know how to tell us they don't want them. They don't want us in their establishment because they know the minute that they do, that we can sue their asses. And not only will I own their business, but I will have it shut down, and I will call the media, and I always have my lawyer on speed dial. So
You
no,
damn right.
you do not want to play with me.
You
I
damn right.
will own the business because I know my rights as a woman, particularly as a brown or black woman with a disability. Don't play with me because see, I've had to fight to get exactly where I am, and I'm not gonna let anybody take that away from me. No matter how small or big my accomplishments may be, I'm not gonna let anybody take the little independence that I do have away from me. That's bullshit. Before I let you take my independence away from me, I'd rather die, and I mean that with every fiber of who I am.
Look, for everybody in the back with the nosebleed section, that I better heard what she said and said what she heard. And then also that brings up another fact too, that when on, and it's funny, on Clubhouse, because that's how me and Andrea met off of Clubhouse. When I was on Clubhouse at the time, these two individuals, and they both live like in the same town, and they're both from Bullshirts, and it was like, well, I can't see myself outside with this person because we both from Wiltshire are going to the mall and that. And I said, what the fuck? I said, first of all, we are this week. Our first of all, that's our bags. And I was like, if Andrea was in the Columbus, Ohio with me, I said we'll be going out to the mall every day, no wheelchairs, whatever.
Baby,
And they
I
would do
have,
things.
let me tell you, I have no shame in my game. Andrea does what she wants when she wants. If I feel like getting my ass dressed up and going to sit in the club and find me up one in the back of the club, that's what the hell I'm gonna do. And then I would go in the club and order Crown Royal on water. Excuse you. Don't
And
play with me.
this like I was like, and this like I was saying with me and Romeo, I said if we Romeo was in, I said Columbus, or whether I was in Maryland, I was like, we were going to the same place. I said, I don't understand this, but I said that's why we got the Wheelife Show. Y'all make sure y'all click our link tree. Our link tree will be in the description for YouTube and on Spotify with Andre's information on her TikTok and whatever platform she on, be our link tree as well. That y'all go look for her and all her stuff. Everything we are link tree as well. But you know, a question is for you, Andrea.
Go
Go and your experience being a disabled woman, especially because I say, I break down, especially disabled women don't get enough credit. They start a lot of stuff, but especially black disabled women, and brown disabled women as well. But being a black disabled woman, I don't think that y'all get enough credibility. And I try, and every, especially February, in between February and March, or really on March because that's International Women's Month. I make sure that y'all on the spotlight that. But I said there's a lot of stuff that y'all do that is never spoke about, and I was very much happy that you was on here. Matter of fact, this is a question for Romeo. Um, so Romeo, when I said to you about Andrea being a host on the show, what do you think? What was your thoughts about all of this? Because I I just go on to Romeo and say, Romeo, you want to take this and let it flow, and then see how you think on. So, how do you feel about Andrea being on a part of the show and a host of the show?
Well, first, when he was like, hey, I got this girl, Andrea, I think you like her, she'll be a good host. I said, who the fuck is that?
ahead.
Andrea is my sister. Like, that's my actual sister's name. And I was like, my sister didn't ask me to be on my show. So who the fuck are you talking about? I don't know this person. Because the first thought that popped in my
You
head,
hear that color? Y'all heard that color answer. Y'all heard that color answer. A color will only say that.
I'm laughing because that's always his approach. He's like,
look at
one thing,
Continue. Continue.
one thing I do realize about Romeo is that he's very laid back and he's very unapologetic. So when he's like, well, who the fuck is that? And why are you bringing up my name? You know, I mean, that's the way he is.
here's the thing.
I'm like,
Here's the thing. Y'all gotta understand. We were on Clubhouse. That's why we left. Because Spotify fucked us over. Let's be real. All our shit got messed up. So we went to Clubhouse for a little bit.
Yeah, but we
When we
back
got
on
on
Spotify.
Clubhouse,
We back. Look, we back on Spotify. We back.
yes, we are back. There are no hard feelings with Spotify. I'm just telling the truth. And so when he was like, I got this girl, Andrea, she's cool, you like her, she's a writer, blah, blah, blah. I said, who the fuck is that? He was like, why you like that? You you'll like her. I said, Quincy, ever since we've been on Clubhouse, you want me to meet the whole world. I don't know none of these people. Y'all gotta understand.
he's like, I don't know this people, and I don't give a fuck what this is.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I
That's
mean,
exactly how I feel. I don't know none of these fools. I don't give a fuck about them. What you want me to
so,
do for?
but, but,
But
but
I will
as
say,
he got to know me,
having listened to Andrea, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go listen. You say she's a writer. What's she doing? She's speaking. I'm gonna go listen to her talk. I'm gonna listen to her do whatever. I listened to her speak, and I said, "Oh, she's a real writer." Because the truth is, a lot of these motherfuckers on Clubhouse say they writers. They don't write shit.
Hold on, I want you to say that for the nosebleeds in the back section of Clubhouse because they got to click the poetic group and the people that says I'm writers and do the things.
They don't do the things. They do shit for each other, so they sound cool. But y'all all suck. I said
no,
anyway.
but the bottom line, guys, is that
I listened to Andrea, and I was like, "Oh, her shit's good." You can tell she really cares about what the fuck she's doing. Like she has something to say.
I do.
It's not. It's not. It's not coded in color or religion or in
I don't
none of that
sugarcoat
bullshit. Like it's
shit.
just this is who I am, and this is you're gonna take it. Like Andrea is the reason me and Andrea get along so well is because neither one of us give a
I
shit.
don't. Let me tell you something. One thing about me is that I don't sugarcoat shit. It is what it is.
Exactly. That's
Because
what.
again,
That's what me and you get along because
this is why I tell people. Yes, I am a jaded ass female. I don't give a fuck what you say because I've earned that right to be jaded, and you have to live my life to understand my life. But because you don't, you will never understand. So guess what? You can call me what the hell you want. Because one thing about it is this. I'm gonna be who I am unapologetically 365 days a year. If you like me, you like me. If you
366 on leap year. Fuck you mean? Like what? The reason we get along is because neither one of us give a shit about how anybody else feels about what we say. We are
if you
essentially the same person.
if you don't like me, kick rocks. I mean, and that's who I am. I don't apologize. I swear to God, if we lived close to each other in the same city, much less on the same state, we would work each other's nerves because either we gonna hang out and go get something to eat, something to something. You understand what I mean? Because one thing for sure, one of them is gonna call me or text me and be like, Okay, since you all right, we haven't heard from you. What's up? I mean, that's just how we are, and we've been like that since the day we met. Now, true enough, I've known Quincy going on 4 years, Quincy? Quincy?
Hold on, I'm
Hello?
here. I'm here. What y'all say about me?
She,
I
she
said,
said,
I've known you for 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, I've known Romeo short of a year, but and that's not saying that I love him any less, because I mean, when I say I truly love these guys like they're my brothers, they really are. That's not me just saying that because we're doing this podcast. That is how I really truly feel. That's from my heart. I mean, and again, I speak my truth, and I'm very, very, very nonchalant. So when you call me jaded, no, make that Mrs. Jaded, okay? And while you're doing that, you can also run me my money, because guess what? I'm all about the Benjamins, baby, right now. Go ahead, guys.
and really, like I said, when I heard you read, right, I was like, yeah, she is me. We get it. hmm This is what I need because Quincy and his devil's advocate system, and he'd be like, no, it's not like that because I'm like, bro, you haven't had enough doctors tell you that you're not actually in pain and you're crazy. You haven't had enough insurance companies say, oh, we can't do that. You haven't had motherfuckers say, oh, um, we can't service you because of whatever the fuck stupid ass reason they got when they know they can get it done, but they're just too damn lazy to do it.
And when I say it be some stupid ass reasons, trust me, it be some stupid reasons.
Girl,
I had
that's a whole show within itself. We actually
my
need
my
we
doctor
actually need to
told
do
me
that for
my doctor told me this week. I went to her and I said, "Look," and I've said this to every damn doctor I've been to within the last 3 months. I said, "Look," I said, "I gotta do something about my pain." I said, "You're gonna be the last one I tell it to." I said, "Because if you don't, I'm gonna take my life. That's how much pain I'm in." So she goes, "Oh no, don't do that." Then she goes, "Okay, you're gonna have to have a spinal tap." I wanna do what is it? Not a spinal tap. Um, the thing that God, the thing that they do with your knee that she swears won't hurt. She goes, no, it'll just be like X-rays. Look,
Oh, you talking about the bone density test?
yeah, the bone density. I'm like, lady, if it hurts, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna find your ass and I'm gonna weigh your head out. Do you understand? And she goes, oh no, I'm gonna put you on some medicine before. Do whatever you got to, because I'm telling you, if I come in here one more time within the next 3 weeks to see you and my pain has not stopped, guess what? You don't have to put me in a damn straitjacket, because I have been hurting since the end of August, guys. And this is getting ready to be December. No, I am not gonna start off my new year in pain like this. I'm sorry. So no, y'all gotta do something.
It's crazy because we actually need to do that video for newly disabled or that podcast, maybe a YouTube video on some channels about what it looks like when people are actually discriminating against you for your disability, because it's not
Yeah,
a thing, right? And you
yeah.
have a lot of doctors tell you you're crazy, and you have a lot of insurance companies say they can't do this and they can't do that.
Yep, yep,
So
yep.
we actually need to like sit down and come up with a list, and we'll put that out
That
for you
that
guys because, like Andrea
that is
said,
why
you're
that is
going you're
why I
going to
said
become disabled. You either become old, you get injured, or you die before it happens. So you're gonna
that is
join
why
our team.
I said that is why I said everything I do now, it's about the Benjamins, baby, because depending on this government shit, uh, now don't get me wrong, I'm grateful I have it, but when they say no, and so we need a backup. You know what I mean? So,
You ain't said nothing but a word. That's true. Because
you
like
know, that
when they
that
when
that
they say
that's the
no,
reality
I
of
tell
it.
this story. I tell this story all the time. They told me no when I went to get my chair, the last chair. It was during COVID, and they told me no because they didn't want to fucking paint it blue. And so
It
that's when I learned. I was like, oh, I really got to do this shit for myself. That's when I opened myself up a high yield savings account, and my money does what it needs to do. This is
it
not financial advice, but I'm just saying.
it happens more than people want to
Way more than
admit.
you think.
It happen they say no. They say no more than they say yes. And the shit they say yes to, you gotta have about 50 goddamn pieces of paper because they want that shit documented.
Man, you gotta have the whole prescription signed by 3 doctors, a physical therapist, and a nurse. Don't get me started.
Hmm. 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 So I mean that's how it goes. And to those that it's not happening to yet, but you live long enough and watch. You live long enough and you hold your breath and you wait and see because it's gonna happen. You're gonna start hearing a whole hell of a lot more no's than you do yeses. And again, that's when you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, they have a right to be jaded." Cause I am jaded as fuck. I'm not gonna even lie to you. I am jaded, baby. My middle name should have been jaded.
But let a doctor say you need some surgery. They be like, okay, because they know they're gonna get a paycheck.
Exactly. They gonna get the paycheck before we even get on the goddamn table.
But like we said, this episode is about Andrea, and that's another show, and I'm pissing myself off. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna get back on topic.
Okay.
Well, I'm not
Look.
saying that because it's a hot topic, baby. I got a lot of things to say about that as well. But look, I'll wait. Look, the peanut gallery will wait over here because baby, that's why I got prescription. I can say I got prescription to get high, 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 and I ingest.
Well,
The flower
see,
doesn't do me right sometimes, but I can ingest and be just as happy.
but
'Cause I got
see,
prescription.
but
I
but
will
wait
not
a
become.
minute. But
I will
see,
not become an opioid. I will
wait.
not become
I
an opioid.
but see, I have a question though. All right, you say, and this is respectfully. You say you have a prescription, right? So think
I
about
do
it think about it like this though. How much did you have to go through to get that prescription?
not that much. It was so how I got my prescription was really honestly when it comes to and it's gonna be a whole we talked about the healthcare system, we talked about health care system that, but honestly I haven't told my experience about like my rhapsodies of even though that my disability was acquired, that it was rough for me in my state just to get Medicare easy part, it was the Medicaid part, and I'm still going through stuff with that, but with the prescription of what I got and they're talking about the medical marijuana, um, it wasn't that hard. It was really finding a company, and my friend said, no, my uncle. He got on it, and my uncle said something about it. And I've been with this company for 3 years to do it before my state, and now legalized recreational marijuana now. It's not like big in my state. Nobody like it's not it's big. It's not really big in my state in Ohio, well, my city, Columbus. I ain't gonna say in Cleveland. They the one that started it.
Give me
Cleveland
check for
and
that. Let me
Cincinnati, they're
go.
doing it, but it wasn't hard really doing it. It was the fact that I hadn't heard about it, and when I heard about it, it was like, oh, okay. And then on that list, I qualified not only for my spinal cord injury, um, also with other qualification on there, which I talk about, like I said, that'll be a little episode about it. But it wasn't hard. It was nothing hard about getting that prescription. Really nothing hard. But when it comes to the medical system, oh, I could tell you as a worker that worked in the medical field and got to know these stuff, especially dialysis, and what I couldn't do for a patient and I could do for a patient, and how I had to treat one patient to another patient. Oh, I got stories to tell about that, even in nursing home, and even now able, I got stories to say about that. But guys and ladies and everybody out there, y'all make sure y'all check out the YouTube channel. That's gonna be on our link tree and also in the description in the YouTube, as well as y'all check out the link tree in the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, even our blog on WordPress. Y'all check out that as well in the episode. And we want to introduce our new host, Andrea. So we want to get Andrea to say her last words. Also, our Romeo say his new tagline that he's been saying on Clubhouse, we need to say on here. And we're going to close out the show.
Um, this was this was a hell of an experience. Thank you guys. I just look forward to us being the best that we can be, and being able to do more and explore more with the Real Life Show on our own terms and nobody else's. Go ahead.
I completely agree with that. And that's a whole nother beast. When we get into the logistics and everything about how this show came about and how we got to this mark, you will learn that whenever the movie comes out. That will also be part of it. Um, just remember that two things: everybody joins our team eventually, and never forget your body is not broken. I always tell people, real quick. I always tell people, uh, we're both at the poker table. Your hand might be better than mine, but that doesn't mean I can't win the game. Again, never forget your body is not broken.
Well said.
All right, everybody. The mom, that's my auntie's grandson over there on the phone, and he's actually. But y'all make sure y'all check us out here on Spotify. Every Friday we will drop an episode on Spotify and on YouTube as well. Like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Y'all make sure I click that link tree in our description
Oh, real
of
quick,
the podcast.
since we're back on all of our podcasting platforms, uh,
Yes.
leave reviews. Leave reviews. It gets us pushed out to more people.
Also email us as well if y'all
Thank
want to talk about tough subjects as well too. I'm gonna add on that emails as well, and we make sure that all the emails are listed. We check all the emails. We check also the Instagram DMs as well as the X, aka Twitter DMs, and the emails as well. We're gonna make sure that we put that in the description. And remember, everybody, the revolution will be accessible. And